Hey YouTube, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. My name's Kino and we're here in Kalapolis once again. However, today is slightly different because we're going to be doing a tutorial. We don't normally do them in Kalapolis. However, when I've come to build some of the houses, which you can slowly see coming together behind me, I decided to build one out of one of the new blocks, which is mud bricks. And I don't actually have a lot of mud. As you know, in the last episode of our survival let's play series, which if you haven't seen, please do catch up, it's been great, we found our first mangrove swamp. And it was all the way over there, something like 7,000 odd blocks. But I can't be bothered to go all the way back over there to get mud and mud bricks, so I have a way of making a mud farm and thus being able to turn it into mud bricks. And I need this in this world, so I've decided to do this tutorial here in Kalapolis in survival, so this could be interesting. So as this is a temporary farm, I'm just going to build it outside of the castle. It's got a pretty good view as well, while we like it. We also got sort of some wood and stuff being down here that's growing that our allies are going to harvest. But for now, I'm just going to build a really simple mud farm. And the way that we do this is we need some dispensers, we need some hoppers, we need some chests, redstone, which is there. We need some redstone torches, which I'm going to put here and hopefully not kill anyone. And then, oh, that's a comparator. We need a repeater. And then we're going to need some pistons as well. So perhaps if we go something like that for now. Now it's a really simple design. I learnt this a few years ago. No, can't have been, probably about a year ago now. And I've kind of developed it myself and sort of moved on from there. But what we're going to do is, first of all, we're going to make an automatic water bottle filler and a mud farm. So we're going to place a piston going that way. Now below the piston here, we need to put some redstone there. Then from here, we're going to put a piece of redstone there going into a repeater. And this repeater is going to go on 3 ticks. So that's all the way down to there. So if that's the top, we go 1 and 2. And the reason that's 3 ticks, confusing right, is because that's 1 tick, that's 2 tick, and that's 3 ticks. Okay, that's what we're going to do from there. Now we need some blocks as well. So let's go. Oh, I didn't bring any blocks. It's not very good, is it? So let's go something like this. Let's just get rid of these. I'm probably going to need to get rid of some of these anyway. Let's go something like this. Bye bye. So this is going to be really temporary, really quick. So we're going to go something like that. And then all you need to do is behind here, we're just going to put some blocks going across like that with some redstone there and there. Now what that will do is when we put a block above here, that will complete the redstone circuit to push that piston outwards like so. And that does that. And that's as simple as it is. Now, from here, we've got this piece of redstone. We are going to place a dropper. Has to be a dropper, not a dispenser. Or the other way around. It's a dispenser, not a dropper, sorry. And that's because it is going to dispense the water into there. Oh. Because it's going to dispense the water bottles onto these blocks. So as that pushes into there, that will then dispense water on top of it. Simple so far. So far so good. So far so good. Now, the way that we get this to work is underneath here, we are going to place another dispenser around the back. Just about there. Then we need to place a hopper going into that dispenser. So everything will come down there, into there, and then go out. What we then need to do, probably should have brought some glass. Let me go and get some glass. There we go. So now that we're back, I actually brought my bed with me as well because it's nearly night time. And I've also brought another water bucket so that I've got an infinite water source. So we're just going to pop my bed up there for now. Okay, the reason I wanted some glass, and it's hard to see this in RTX, is because here we are going to make a water column. And we're going to go up by 3 blocks, I believe. On top of here, we need another hopper going into there. So this hopper goes into this one, this hopper goes into this one. Reason being is that then forms a cycle. Now, that's going to go 3, that's going to go 3, but this one we only need to go up 1 up there, so that it's in line with there. Now, whilst it's getting a little bit dark, we can't see the glass as it is, so we are going to get some sleep. And it's morning, and I've survived the night. But, where were we? So, we've got the glass going across on top of there. And the way this works is that the water column then needs to come up here, and it will flow into this, which we will do in just one moment. However, we need to get this working for now. And the way that this works, very, very simply, is by using repeaters. What we do, I think, is if we go in there, I need a block, I need repeaters, don't need hoppers, so I'm correct in thinking we're going to put that in there, we're going to go this here. Then what we're going to do is we're going to put redstone there, and a block here, and then a repeater there. Then if we place a block on there, now every time that this one picks up one signal, that's going to complete the circuit, which will then power this block, which will power the redstone below it, which will in turn power this block, which then in turn powers this. So if we were to knock down this bit here, for example, for the moment, let me just show you, and we'll put something in here. Let's put a lever in there for now. That's come all the way through in there. That will drop all the way down. That goes into there. Now, if we place a block in here, that powers that, and that should have dropped it out, which is good, which is what we want. So now we've got the full cycle going around. The last thing we need to do is the reason that I bought this chest over here, because we need to clear our inventory. We need to clear our inventory because we need to fill this up with a lot of water bottles. And what we do here is we need access to this bit here. So we're going to fill this one up, every single section, with 64 bottles. So that's completely full. Okay, we're then going to come round for now, and we're going to get access to this one, and we're going to fill this most of the way up. Most of the way. The reason being is we need some space for the water bottles to go in there. So once the water bottles are in there, we want them to stay inside here until we need to use them. If we put glass bottles in, they'll just drop straight through into these gaps. So what we need to do is we need to take half this stack here and leave some space in there. So when we put water bottles in there, which we are going to do, let's get these out. Okay, and the way that we do that, for now, we'll make a water source there, and a water source there. 1, 2, 3, 4. They've now become water bottles. And do we want 6? We do, we want 6. And we're going to put those into anywhere we want. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now this has gone into here, so we've now got 6 in there, and they're not going to drop through because there's no room to drop through. So they're going to stay in this hopper here. What will happen is, once we put the mud block in front of there, the dirt block, sorry, in front of there, it will push it to here. Once it pushes it to here, this system here is all going to work, and the redstone is going to be complete. This should dispense water on it, turning it into mud, and then it will drop the empty bottle into this system. At the same time, this will dispense an empty bottle into the water flow, filling it up, and drop it back round to fill this one here back up. And it's really simple. The only thing we need to do is to fill this column up with water. So we're going to go back to our water source over here. And we're going to make sure we've got that glass. There and there. There and there. So that's now full. That's now full. Okay, so you want to bring this out here and here as well. Possibly there. Something like that. And then perhaps even a lid on the top. Now for now, I'm not going to. I'm going to put one there. And I'm going to put one there. And then for now, let's just go down here. Like this. Okay, and we're going to put one bucket there. One bucket there. Then this will flow onto the hopper. So the hopper that we've got up there. Let's get rid of this corner, shall we? The hopper that we've got up there, that will flow onto the top of there. So the water will come out. The water bottles will come out and flow onto there. So let's just cover that up with a tiny bit of glass across here. Let's get rid of these, and then let's show you in action. There is one last thing I am going to do. One last thing I'm going to do, but it's entirely up to you. So that's going to go on there. Okay. Now, what we should have done actually is we should have started off by putting one in there, in front of there. However, you can see that has worked absolutely perfectly. Yeah. So now, if we place one on there, turns that into mud, goes around in the system. Show you it again. That goes there, and you'll see a water bottle come through. Try it. There, out comes the water bottle all the way along and back down into the hopper. This hopper will keep 6 water bottles at all time, and we can go as far as 13, I believe, this way, just by adding dirt onto there, and that will turn. It'll go as far as that. Now, one issue we've got to contend with is these blocks here turning into grass. So what I recommend doing is just getting rid of these completely. I might need to redo some of this. Get rid of this completely. And then just placing another block. Now, you can place any block you want. I'm going to place obsidian because, well, because it's the only thing I've got here, to be honest. But you can place anything you want. Anything that's not going to grow grass on. Now, what I have done there is I've left this open. That's obsidian. That's obsidian. So we need to get our redstone torch back and just light it on that side. And now, these aren't going to turn to grass because they're fine. It's just that first one there that we can't have turn into grass. So when we place it like this, it's not going to push it any further, but this could have potentially spread into grass. Now it's got no grass around it. It's not going to. And that is our farm. Now if we get rid of that, will that move? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Let's try that again. 12. There we go. That's as far as it will go. And that's that. And that system is really simple. As you can see, we've got dirt. The next thing we can do, just to make it a tiny bit more, tiny bit better if you like, I am going to really mess up this area because I'm actually going to make this a nightmare for clearing up, but I'm going to make it really easy to collect the dirt later, and that is by laying obsidian underneath here. I'm just going to lay a few rows, something like this. And the reason we are going to do this is because, how many more rows have I got? Let's do 2 more rows. It's because when we come to mine it, to dig it up with our shovel, as you can see, our shovel is quite OP. And I don't want to dig a massive hole in the ground. So we're going to put obsidian just like that for now. Something like that. Perhaps perhaps even one more, just to be on the safe side, down this side here. Perfect. Something like that. And that is what we're going to do. Now, last thing we need to do, the next thing we need to do, just to make it even better, is we're going to go and get some of our stuff back. Now, I collected all my stuff back. As you can see here, I've got pretty much everything we need. And now that we've eaten, what we're going to do now, just to make it slightly better, we can go all the way down, one block away from here, and we're going to put a piston in each of these like this. And you can already tell what we're going to do here, but you're fine. Now we need to get rid of this here. Okay, and what we're going to do, underneath this block here, so underneath there where I've put the obsidian, we actually need to put a torch. I'm going to put it just like that. And if that torch is going to power this, which we're going to put redstone on, we're going to put a repeater there. And then from there, we're going to just run any block you want. Any block you want that will go along like this. And we just run the redstone all the way along here. And what happens here is when this block comes over here, that will power this. Become live, which will then in turn power that, which will power the repeater, which will power the redstone along there. I believe that should work. Let's test it. Hasn't worked. What have I done? Oh, haven't put the blocks back. Okay, so let's get rid of that one first. We need to change that to 2. Okay, now if we put a block there, the predicament we've got is this may actually go further than there. So let's just take this out for the moment, because I actually think it's supposed to go 13. Let's take this all the way out here. I think we might be able to get even more. I love how shiny it is. So there we go. So that's better. Okay. So now where have we gone to? No, it was there. It was there. But that's fine, because we can put our redstone torch there. That's not a redstone torch. We can put our redstone torch there. We can put our block there, and if we put this on here, that moves it just like that. And we've got all of them except that one. Why? Oh no, that did. Right, let's try this again. So now we're in a system where this should go like this. When we get to a certain amount, there we go. Now we do get the odd one that doesn't go like that. That's just where we're going a little bit fast. System just catches up a little bit. It's not the fastest farm in the world, but it doesn't really matter if you get the odd one. And after sort of 3 or 4, that's standard, just doing this a couple of times. And as you can hear behind me, and that will actually go out 13 blocks if we want it to. And what we can do here then is we can mine knowing that we're not actually going to have too much of a problem because we've got the obsidian. I might put another run of obsidian in, I'm not too sure. I'm actually considering 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm actually considering what I could do. Stand here. Yeah, I could actually make, that's a better idea. So now here I can mine it, and I can just hold my finger down, AFK, go all the way across, and that will mine it out. Should we try that? Let's try it. One block there in front to start. Okay, so I'm on my AFK platform here. on my platform here. And what we can do, I can just mine it like this. We can just go sideways, across like that. There we go. You could even get rid of this and have some form of water collection system, or you could use the LAs just to come and collect them. But either way, that is our mine. We've already got 2 rows of mud, and that is our mine, our farm, our mud farm. It's very, very simple. So let's just go over it again just to make sure you've all got the right way system. You need the redstone here, because then this repeater will go into 3 ticks, which will power these, which will then push this. In turn, as it pushes this, the power will also set this off to dispense a water onto here, turning this into mud. The empty bottle then drops through the hoppers into here. This will also be powered once through this system, which will go repeater into the block, redstone underneath into the block, redstone into here, which will then shoot an empty water bottle up through the water source back into the hopper, ready to go, keeping 6 in here at all times. I've got some have landed on me. That's interesting. So that's definitely worth keeping an eye on, just to make sure there's 6 in there all the time. It will still work with 4 or 3 or 2 or 1. It only needs 1, but 6 is optimal. So it is worth just keeping an eye on that. Once that goes in there, this will continue to be pushed, and it will be pushed all the way along until the end of here. Now the way this works, redstone, we need a block above it to activate it, which will then turn this on, which will activate the repeater. The repeater will activate all of this redstone, which will push the blocks outwards. And let's just try it one more time. There we go. And we can just stand down here and we can go AFK and get rid of all of this mud. Collect it up, and this is ready for us to then build some mud bricks. And that is me, guys, in the shadow of the ancient city entrance, which we're building on our K-Lapilis Let's Play series, which if you haven't caught up with, do, is great. And this build is just one of many that we are completing. Guys, it's been an absolute pleasure. If you've learned something, please do drop a follow, like, share, subscribe, tell your friends, all of that. And remember, build like no one's watching. I'll catch up with you soon.